Hello, users, and welcome to another program. This is the Above It All show, everybody, and I'm here to do a show. Welcome. I got Max the dog here joining me today. We got little doggy dog. You may know him by the name Max the dog, and that's him. Hi, Max. Welcome to the show. Glad to have you here. Look at this tail. I mean, my God. But welcome to the show, everybody. I'm going to start today's program by saying I am feeling like dog shit today. Yesterday, I had a really rough day with my allergies. At least I assume they are allergies, as usually I get kind of like fucked up once or twice a year when the seasonal change happens. And needless to say, yesterday I got fucked up, did not sleep too well, and I'm still a little fucked up from it. So so I apologize if I seem slow or whatever. So there you go. Now that I've gotten that out of the way, hello everybody. Welcome. We got Max the dog here once again. He's up to something. Max, what you got there? What the hell? Anyway, so we're doing a program today. I love this dog. We're doing a program today. Some big news happened yesterday, and I'll be jumping in on that in a moment. But you got to give me a couple of warm-up stories. I got some clips today, by the way. We're going to be doing some clips today. Does anyone like those? You know, I heard people like them. So we're going to be jumping into some clips. Got my blanket here because I'm cold this morning. Very cold. For whatever reason. Anyway, so welcome to the show, everybody. This is the Above It All show. Turns out, and we need science to tell us this, but it turns out, actually, French fries. Yikes! Many people assume fast food, greasy food, poison is comforting. It alleviates depression. But what if it's just a feedback effect? What if, and hear me out, it's a drug addiction? A lot of people, when you tell them, oh, when I wake up in the morning, I got to have a shot of whiskey just to get up. Some people drink coffee. Some people have the hair of the dog. Would you look at that person and say, hey, totally normal, totally functioning? Now, you could. Seems to me that they're functioning just fine. But what if someone says, oh, I just had to get some Wendy's on the way home. Had a stressful day at work. And then that turns into 5 days a week. And then it's their off day. Hey, it's my day off. I'm not cooking on my day off. As if they cook anytime, right? And then they go on down, get some more French fries. What if it's a drug addiction? What if, and I say this on my show all the time, of course, but what if this whole country, 95% of this country, according to research, is addicted in some fashion to unhealthy foods? What if we got it wrong? What if this is as dangerous as alcohol? What would happen if 95% of Americans drank a six-pack every morning? We'd have a national emergency. It would be a serious problem. Nobody thinks that we should ban fast food or alcohol. I'm willing to have that conversation, but ultimately, I think all forms of drugs should be allowed to be consumed in a regulated and legal fashion. In the same way that I have a problem with caffeine being given to kids. Why are kids drinking caffeinated beverages as young as 5 years old? When's the first time you had a Coca-Cola? Think about it. When's the first time you had a Coca-Cola? When's the first time you had any fast food? When's the first time you had alcohol? Marijuana? A drug? Prescription pain medication? Hey, when's the first time you had cough syrup? Just think about it. I don't remember the first time I had it, but I was around 4, maybe 3 years old, eating Wendy's, eating McDonald's like it was a normal part of my life. Multiple times a week. Isn't that a little weird? Why are we giving our kids drugs? I don't know. I think it's strange. Now, I say this from another perspective. Maybe we got this whole thing wrong. Maybe giving kids beer when they're 9 years old, it could have benefits, right? They might fall asleep early, and then you don't have to worry about staying up at night. What are the excuses when people give their kids fast food? It's, I'm tired, I want to go to bed early, I don't want to cook, blah, blah, blah. Now, again, I'm not saying you probably shouldn't give your kids any fast food at all. I'm just saying we need to treat it as it is. It's a drug in the same category as alcohol. The diseases that alcohol produces in the body are extraordinarily similar to the diseases that fast food and sugar present in the body. Anyway, let's find out. French fries, they're greasy, starchy, and a comfort food for many, but reaching for fried foods may have a negative impact on mental health. A research team in Hangzhou, China, found that frequent consumption of fried foods, especially fried potatoes, was linked with a 12% higher risk of anxiety and a 7% risk of depression than in people who don't eat fried foods. The link was more pronounced among young men and younger consumers. Fried foods are known risk factors for obesity, high blood pressure, and other health effects. These results open an avenue in the significance of reducing fried food consumption for mental health. Well, I mean, it doesn't really open that avenue because this has been very easily and well documented for multiple years. But again, it's additional research. This is not like a breakthrough study. I know everyone who's in science, they want to treat everything they do as a breakthrough. The world is changing because of my research, but we've known this for years. And we're not going to do anything. In the same way that we knew that cigarettes caused cancer for years, and we all just did a song and dance pretending like that wasn't the case. So we're probably going to deal with 10, 20 years, at least, and that's assuming these companies don't win, of litigation, congressional hearings, class action lawsuits. Can we sue McDonald's in all of these food industries for any death related to obesity? I think we should be allowed to. If we can sue cigarette companies for giving people lung cancer, why can't we sue McDonald's for giving someone high blood pressure, obesity, or depression? Fried foods are known risk factors, blah, blah, blah. However, experts who study nutrition said the results are preliminary, and it's not necessarily clear whether the fried foods were driving mental health issues. You know, there were experts in the 1960s that said, hey, cigarettes. There's no link between cigarettes and cancer. I've been a doctor for 30 years, 40. I'm an expert in the medical field. There's no link between cigarettes and cancer. Are you kidding? Alcohol and fatty liver disease? There's no such thing. It's not real. It's all made up. So go get yourself a pack down at the local 7-Eleven. And while you're at it, grab some French fries, because everything's fine. I'm an expert. Of course, we're not going to get any details from CNN Health here on these experts. We don't even have a name here. We don't even have a fucking name to even research. It's just experts say there's no link between cigarettes and cancer. Which expert? When did they say it? What was their evidence? We don't know. The study evaluated 140,728 people over 11.3 years after excluding patients diagnosed with depression within the first 2 years. I'm not sure why you would do that, but A total of 8,294 cases of anxiety and 12,735 cases of depression were found in those that consumed fried food, while specifically fried potatoes were found to have a 2% increase in risk of depression over fried white meat. The study had also found that participants consuming more than one serving of fried food regularly were more likely to be younger men. The human component of the study may indicate just what it purports, that the higher intake of fried food increases the risk of anxiety and depression, said Dr. David Katz, a lifestyle blah blah blah. Now the other part of this is that what if people are more likely to lean into their junk food addiction if they have anxiety or depression? Now, I got both. As a former food addict, and as we know, once a food addict, always a food addict, I have anxiety and depression, and I would treat anxiety and depression with just one more hit every night. Just one more hit. I'll wake up in the morning, everything is fine. One more hit, come on, just one more. One more pizza delivery. One more walk on down to Taco Bell. Just one. All I'm asking for is one. Every single day. I've been there. I've also been anxious and depressed. Now I can say that there have been moments in my life where my anxiety and depression have been at the most alleviated. I wouldn't say ever that they've been cured. You know, I might use that word in some context, but you know, oftentimes with mental health struggles such as depression and anxiety, it's a lifelong battle, if you will, and there's ups and downs. But the moments when I've been at the happiest, or I should say, noticing the least amount of anxiety and depression, is when I've been eating the healthiest foods in my life. And so you can read the rest of this. And it's not necessarily potatoes here. It's not like potatoes are evil. It's just the frying process. The frying process really does damage the nutritional aspect of food. Now, again, it's all harm reduction, right? Frying versus, let's say, with fast food, they deep fry. That's a whole different story. Frying versus deep frying, different spectrum of how much damage it can do. And the oil that is used. Oil is I have a question for my audience. Post your comments if you're watching the video. Post your thing in the chat. Do you, and I'm just curious, because I've been getting into this myself recently, do you have really any understanding of what oils are being used? Like when you purchase takeout, whether it's from a restaurant, you go to a restaurant and dine in. If you don't believe in pandemics, you might do that if you're a fucking moron. But like, when you have anyone else cook for you, do you ever think about the oils being used? Just curious. I would imagine most people would say no. However, the oil being used is one of the core factors in the health of fried foods. When you fry a food, now again, you can air fry a food, and we can debate whether or not that's even fried. I mean, it's certainly, I've eaten air fried foods and they taste good, but is it really a frying process? I mean, it's hard to say. It's more of kind of like an oven, but hey, okay, whatever. But when you fry a food, typically you use oil, a fat of some kind. You can use butter. Right? Now, again, similarly to how much oil you use, there is a harm spectrum of more or less. The type of oil that you're using also very much so matters. For example, extra virgin olive oil is probably the healthiest oil that you can get on the market. Of course, make sure to buy an imported extra virgin olive oil because in the United States, if you live in the United States, the regulation on when they're allowed to use the terminology extra virgin is extraordinarily lax in this country. You can buy olive oils that say they're extra virgin when not even close. Like literally, like there may be like 10 presses, you know, after what extra virgin would be in other countries, right? So factor that in. But again, think about these fast food companies. When you're buying McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, you know, Bojangles, everyone, don't forget. What oils do you think they're using? They're using the cheapest and the worst health outcome related oils, of course, because they're trying to poison you for money and get you addicted to their gross project. So, again, is it really news? This is news? Fast food causes depression? I mean, we already knew that. We know that eating unhealthily causes depression. We know that fucking fast food is unhealthy. Is this really news? Well, it is in the United States. Why not? But again, you know, just think about this. You know, I try to talk about food on my program a lot because no one fucking thinks about this ever in this society, right? Eating fried foods, deep fried foods every day, probably not every meal, you know, probably not something you should be doing. And again, you know, it's a drug. It needs to be treated in the exact, because the diseases that are caused are identical in many different ways to alcohol. Obviously, alcohol does have more of a brain degenerative effect. But as far as the effect on your liver, as far as the effect on your gut, alcohol and sugar are treated very similarly by your body. So again, if you think, whoa, giving your 7-year-old a can of Budweiser? Child abuse. Maybe you should think that the next time your partner or whatever brings home Wendy's for dinner because, well, I got a hard day at work, don't feel like cooking, I want to go to bed early, so let's have Wendy raise my kids instead. But anyway, again, it's the same thing, but it's treated differently. Imagine if kids started smoking. Little Timmy wants to try a cigar. What's the harm? It's only one. Well, it's not that easy. Now we have a scenario where 95% of Americans are metabolically damaged in some fashion, and they're afraid of vegetables. Did you know this? 95% of Americans don't eat fruits or vegetables on a daily basis. That's insane to really think about. I need you to really... talk about mass formation psychosis, a term that has garnered popularity in recent years. 95% of Americans don't know how to feed themselves. Not to add in that 70+% of Americans are chronically dehydrated. But hey, it doesn't help that our water and food supply is poisoned, is it? But we live in one fuck mother of a hellhole, don't we? So hey, whatever. Get some french fries, live a little, just one more hit. I'll turn my life around tomorrow. But tonight, just one more hit. Hey, maybe I'll have a second hit. Hey, it's the last night after all. You only quit an addiction once in your life, right? So fuck it. Let's order Burger King, McDonald's, and Wendy's. It's just one more. Anyway, there you go. It's my food segment for you. My nieces and nephews, like their mother, do not eat vegetables. Shit's insane, man. But again, it's a drug. I mean, it's very similar to alcohol. If you look into the effects of unhealthy, fried, sugary, bullshit food, it is extraordinary. You know, when you drink alcohol, what happens? Risk of a stroke increases. Liver failure increases, right? It does damage to your intestinal lining. It does damage to your brain. Same thing with sugar. Same thing with over-fried, like, awful oil foods. The same fucking thing. And yet giving a 5-year-old an ice cream cone is totally normal in society. It's totally normal to give a kid a ice cream cone, a cheeseburger. That's normal. But if I give a kid a fucking blunt, all of a sudden I'm going to jail? Wow. Huh. Really makes you think. Am I at 11,000? I don't really pay attention to that. I stopped caring about... I only care about subscribers on my fucking Doom channel. That's all I give a fuck about. Because once you hit the monetization threshold, it doesn't matter. So subscribe to me on YouTube, on my Doom channel. I'm trying to get monetized on that bitch. So, help me out here. But I guess I'm at 11,000 here. You'd think if I had 11,000 subscribers, I could get monetized on another channel, right? But doesn't matter. Why? I've had my fucking channel for fucking, what, 14 fucking years? Right? There are people that are subscribed to me that probably, like, you know, got their fucking master's degree in medicine or doctorate and then got hit by a car and was in a coma for 8 years and then woke up. Like, that all happened. You know, I don't think any doctors subscribe to me 14, but I'm just saying, the point is subscribers don't matter. But thank you for that one. Family in Arkansas got raided and the dad arrested because he pierced his teenage son's ears. That is epic. I gotta look into that. The big news for today, well, I guess yesterday, because this was announced right after my show ended yesterday. Tucker Carlson is gonzo from Fox News, everybody. So I'm going to read this article. It's just a CNN, whatever the fuck. I just picked a random article, just doesn't really matter. CNN, MSNBC, you know, New York Times, these are all going to be the same, so let's just whatever, who cares. Fox News and Tucker Carlson, the right-wing extremist who used his primetime perch at the Talk Network to exert a firm grip over the Republican Party, have severed ties, the network said in a stunning announcement that rocked the media and political worlds Monday. I want to play a clip here that I saw that I thought was pretty fucking funny. I saw this one. This is, I forget this one's name, but this is just Fox News host fascist number 74939 announcing this yesterday on the day of. It's just, this video is just fucking funny as hell. Let's just watch this one.
We have some news from within our Fox family. Fox News Media and Tucker Carlson have mutually agreed to part ways.
Now again, obviously, it goes without saying, it's a host on Fox News saying something. They have to be lying. Of course, Tucker and Fox did not mutually part ways. There is no evidence of that whatsoever. But let's just...
Tucker's last show was this past Friday. And starting tonight, Fox News Tonight will air live at 8 p.m. Eastern.
So his last show on Friday, you know, where he signed off by saying, see you all Monday night. Totally a mutual decision here. Just so happens, by the way, that they're settling lawsuits over the weekend, right? Big news of Fox News settling with Dominion last week.
It will be in infidelities until a new host is named. We want to thank Tucker Carlson for his service to the network as a host and prior to that, as a long-term contributor.
Like, you can tell, by the way, that Fox News fascist number 7598969 doesn't, like, there's no emotion in this voice at all. Like, she is literally just reading from the teleprompter. Like, she doesn't have any personal stake in this whatsoever. Anyway, I got another clip here. This is Brian Kilmeade kicking off Fox News Tonight with a message. What the hell? Where's Tucker? Holy shit.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Fox News Tonight. I am Brian Kilmeade. As you probably have heard, Fox News and Tucker Carlson have agreed to part ways. I wish Tucker the best. I'm great friends with Tucker and always will be. But right now, it's time for Fox News Tonight, so let's get started.
Again, just a couple seconds. Hey, you might be tuning in to see Tucker. There is none. Anyway, let's get on to our next show. All right. Carlson, the highest-rated single host at Fox News, did not respond to multiple requests for comment. Carlson was informed of the decision on Monday morning. So Tucker wakes up on Monday, is getting ready for his Monday night program, and he was informed of the decision that he is mutually parting ways with Fox. Because that's how all mutual decisions happen. You just find out in the morning. Hey, fucking, I'm trying to think of a name here. Hey, Bill, I'm trying to log in to my Fox News email, to set up for the show tonight, and I'm getting an error. What's going on? And then Bill's like, hey, we've mutually decided, that you're not going to be here anymore. It was a mutual decision. And we both agree, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, again, not a thing. There has never been a mutual decision that has happened like that. It's never happened, okay? The announcement came 1 week after Fox News settled a monster defamation lawsuit with Dominion Voting Systems for $787.5 million over the network's dissemination of election lies during its time as a primetime blah, blah, blah. It needs to be said, you know, you can look at this, top conspiracy theorist. Tucker Carlson is, in my opinion, the most dangerous person on Fox News. However, imagine you got a dozen eggs and you're bringing the groceries in the house, right? And boom, whoops. Hell has taken over our world. You drop the dozen eggs. It's all over. Now, some of them, maybe the shell is cracked, but no leakage just yet. Okay? But let's be honest. It's a whole sad state of affairs. There's a yolk everywhere. You know, the dog is licking up the raw egg. Oh, Christ. Now I'm going to have to worry about that. So, again, in this instance, Tucker Carlson is the most cracked egg in this dozen egg situation where all of them are fucked up. So the rest at Fox News, they're also disgusting, evil scumbags. Just so happens that Tucker Carlson was the most disgusting of the evil scumbags, but that's not really going to change the dynamic too much. Though, I should say, Tucker Carlson getting axed from Fox News is going to leave a very interesting mark on the Republican electorate. A lot of the Republican electorate have moved on from Fox News to other forms of news, if you can even call it news, such as OAN, America News First, you know, Truth Social, whatever the fucks, / Donald Trump. This is where a lot of Republicans get their news. And this is just going to further that hemorrhage, if you will, from Fox News. The people that only showed up for Tucker, they're gone. So they're not watching Brian Kilmeade on fucking Fox News tonight. They're not going to fucking do that shit. They're not going to watch that other one or the other one. They don't give a fuck about any of them. A large percentage of Fox's viewership tuned in only for Tucker's program, as sad as that is for the overall state of the world. So must have been pretty bad. I imagine that one of the 19,517 ongoing lawsuits spurred this mutual decision. But either way, everyone is speculating, is Tucker going to go online? What is he going to do? I say this. I don't care. I'm not going to spend any time speculating why. It's a waste of my time. It's a waste of your time. We don't know. Who cares? Go watch something else. Anyway, there you go. God damn. Ever since Elon Musk took over Twitter, and especially since he started destroying the verification system, it's really difficult to figure out whether or not things are satire, parody, or the real thing. When you're going on Twitter, a healthy amount of skepticism is always required, as you should have with any internet website, of course. But nowadays, it's especially hard to tell. Is it satire? Is it parody? Hard to say. But in some instances, Elon Musk has decided, you know what? Maybe we should give government officials check marks. And in this instance, we have Sarah Huckabee Sanders. As you can see, she's been verified. Christian, wife, mom, former White House press secretary and governor of Arkansas, tweeted out this video. Again, not going to lie here. I saw this. I saw like the first 5 seconds of this out of like, it was in a quote tweet, whatever. Someone sent it to me. I don't remember. Didn't know who it was from. I didn't read this part. I thought that this was a joke. I thought that this was like a Saturday Night Live kind of skit, you know? But okay, real women don't have to fake it, everybody. Let's watch.
America presents Real Women of Politics.
Real women of politics.
Today we salute all the real woman leaders of this great country.
Real women don't have to fake it.
Real women doing real things.
Real women work too hard for this.
Some big companies can't tell the difference between real and fake anymore.
Real people know the difference.
That's why we're introducing the Real Women of Politics koozie.
Real women of politics.
Now, you can salute the real women of politics at every backyard barbecue and tailgate.
I love how it like immediately shows people, like you'd think, I'm sorry to interrupt this, there's so much to say, but just table the rest of what we just experienced, right? Like you'd think they would show B-roll of people like drinking out of the koozies, but instead they show like some wine bombs with wine glasses, you know? Like you'd think, but like that's the thing is all of this is just pre-tape B-roll. Like they didn't film any new footage for this.
Tailgate. And if it covers up the label of a big woke company,
Here we go.
Well, that works too.
That's the only footage that they recorded for this, is someone going like... Okay, I'm sorry.
Well,
I missed this part.
and if it covers up the label of a big woke company, well, that works too.
Real women of politics.
Order your Real Women of Politics koozie today.
Now, again, if I did not properly introduce this to you, I'm not going to lie. I was thinking about introducing this by lying to you all and saying that this is a parody. I decided not to. But isn't it strange that they're doing this big boycott against Bud Light, and yet, you know, they're totally copying their whole shtick here. Hey, whatever. Wow. I mean, just wow. I really don't know what else to say, but this is some crazy fucking shit. Do I need like an in-depth review of how ridiculous we are reaching here with this stuff? I don't need, like, what the fuck? Okay, imagine, right? You're at a family reunion of some kind, a wedding maybe, just some gathering where you see family members that you've spoken to before, but you don't really keep up with them, you know, like a fucking third cousin, you know, an uncle, you know, whatever. Someone you don't really keep. And then, like, you know, you're at the grill, they're serving up fucking vegan hot dogs because this is the fantasy I'm spinning for you. And then Uncle Fuck walks on over and starts asking you, like, how's school going? It's like, Uncle, I graduated like 8 years ago, like, right? And then you notice in his hand, real woman. Like, I'm just like, what is the target audience for this? Like, what the fuck? Who in the right mind, besides these people, their faces are on here, right? Who in their right fucking goddamn son of a bitch in mind is going to buy this and actually use it in front of other people? Now, hey, some fucking Republican might buy one and use it once and then, like, leave it in the cupboard for the next 18 years, right? But it's like, imagine. Like, they're saying, like, yeah, tailgating parties, man. You're gonna bring out your koozie, bro. Like, crazy fucking shit, man, with these Republicans. Wow. But this is the other thing. It's really insane about Republicans and conservatives in general. As I've said this before, that is the apex ratio. The dumbest people that have ever been alive, human beings that have ever been alive in the history of our entire species, they are the least informed. When you compare accessibility and availability of knowledge versus what the average person knows, they are the dumbest group of people in the history of the world. And while we're living in this capitalist like nightmare, it really is fundamentally true that you can sell these people anything. These are the same people that believe that, I don't know if you saw this, but a couple of months ago there was a poll done of the of people, but in the Republican group of the poll, they found out that Republicans think that transgender people are 20% of the population. Reality, 0.5% of the population. But Republicans think transgender people are 1 out of every 5 Americans. How? The answer is they're fucking stupid, and you can sell them, whether it be something for money or an ideology for them to promote on your behalf. You can sell them anything. These are the zombies. These are the NPCs. These are people who go shopping on Black fucking Friday. You can sell them anything. And that includes a real woman koozie of Governor Kay Ivey. Yeah. When I think real woman, I think this fucking dumbass. Hell yeah. Everybody, it is all hell. Fuck me. All hell has broken loose in the United States of America. But hey, whatever. Let's just watch the show. Let's just watch the show. Transgender people are 1 out of 5 of the humans in my household. Well, it seems like the Republicans were onto something, it seems, yeah. Record low for our worldwide snake oil reserves. I think we need to do some, I personally think, like, I'm at the point in my life right now where I kind of want to just create some 3D printed or, like, 2D printed, like, taped on label object just to sell it to right-wingers. Like, think about it from, like, you know, you ever watch Better Call Saul, you know, like the episodes where Jimmy is making the commercials, you know? Like, it just looks fun. I want to create a commercial for a fake product just to sell to conservatives. Like, that sounds like fun. Like, making the video would be fun. Like, the debate on how dumb can we make it and still actually get sales, that would be fun. You know, creating the fake LLC to sell it under, that would, like, every aspect of that seems very enjoyable to me. So I'm leaning in that direction. You might see me pop up with one of these. Like, I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, like, again, like, look at this fucking shit, man. Like, wow. I mean, I could make this. Like, Jesus. But anyway. Wow. Fuck me. You can't call him Fucker Carlson? Well, I can. Glam Girl Adel. So, there you go. Fuckface, motherfucking fuckity fuck, fucker ass, goddamn Jay Carlson. And hopefully that makes up for your deleted messages. He, him, chocolate. You can't do he, him. Because those are pronouns. But yeah, in that vein, you could totally do that. If anyone out there wants to fund this, you know, we need startup money. I'm not rich. I can't just fund a product, like a fake product. You know, we'll make it as cheap as possible. But if anyone has like an extra couple $1,000 and you want to invest it with me and sell it, you'll make it back. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. This is an easy fucking investment. But hit me up. Anyway. Wow, I can't believe I did. This show has been on for an hour, everybody. The show has been on for an hour. Almost. 45 minutes, whatever. And I haven't yet talked about the biggest news of the evening. And by evening, I mean it's 10 a.m. It's a cloudy day, so it's not very bright outside. The very biggest news story of the day. Folks, Biden announces re-election bid, defying Trump and history. Now, this is a New York Times article, so you can kind of get that these guys are on a drug of some kind, whether that be neoliberalism, whether that be cocaine. I don't know what kind of drug they're on. Just think about this headline and this thumbnail. Like, this thumbnail looking like he's making him look like he's Jesus Christ or some shit. Biden announces re-election bid defying Trump and history. Now we're going to get into his video. He's got a video. Of course he's got a video. They all have videos. But I'm stuck on this New York Times headline for a moment. Biden announces re-election bid. Okay. So far, not bad. Defying Trump and history. What? What? How is he defying Trump? Second question, how is he defying history? Third question, how is he defying Trump and history? Like, did these guys not proofread that shit? Like, that's in the headline. What the fuck does this mean? He's defying Trump? How? How? Okay. Folks, I'm sorry, just for a moment here, let's look up the definition of defy. Definition of defy. Openly resist or refuse to obey. Doesn't really help me understand this headline. He's refusing to obey history? What? He's refusing to obey Trump? Huh? What? What? Where's the defiance? But hey, whatever. I don't actually care about reading this. I mean, it doesn't fucking matter. Let's watch this guy. I just like this headline blew me away. I just like he defying Trump and history. What the fuck? Whatever. Let's watch his video. Every generation has a moment where they have had to stand up for democracy, to stand up for their fundamental freedoms. I believe this is ours. Do you? Do you really? I mean, you're gonna... this is okay, so this is our moment as in future tense, right? Because that's the thing about Joe Biden, and Donald Trump had a very similar problem as well. Is Donald Trump ran as Make America Great Again? He won, didn't fix any problems, and then ran as Keep America Great. Like, you have a track record now. Like, do they... I know that these people will just lie to you and presume that you're dumb enough to fall for it and, you know, let's be honest, America. But hey, this guy's got a track record of not standing up for fundamental freedoms. Roe v. Wade collapsed under this guy's administration. He has done almost nothing to actually... Now, again, people might say, oh, he signed an executive order that made it easier to buy a pill online in 4 states for approximately 6 extra hours. That's great. But again, this guy is too much of a cuck beta to even advocate for Dianne Feinstein to resign so that he can get back to doing the only thing that Joe Biden was doing that was good with the executive branch domestically, and that's put in liberal justices and judges. And now he can't even do that because they're all fucking stun-locked by Dianne Feinstein, who thinks she's walking around in 1986. She's asking to see Harvey Milk from her fucking deathbed just to catch up. It's been a while, right? So again, what the fuck? But we haven't even gotten to the video yet. That's why I'm running for re-election as president of the United States. Join us. Let's finish the job. Okay, well, I say this. Let's start the job first. You know, before we finish the job, we should probably start it. But hey, we got 3 minutes of classic Joe Biden to deal with. Can we make it all the way in? This is always a question. Can we make it? 3 minutes! Holy shit. Now, again, I know I pause all the time, so it could turn into a 30 minutes of me, but can we manage to make it through a 3-minute commercial? Let's find out. I'm sorry, okay. What is this, man? Like, this is like a trailer. This is like a trailer for like a movie. But it's a movie that's like bringing a franchise back. You know, like movie franchises that have been dormant for like 10, 15, 20 years. You know, maybe they've had a sequel in the works many times that's never really panned out. You know, 20 years later, they finally get their shit together, they make a sequel, and then they create like a trailer campaign where it's like, he's back, you know, it's like whatever, like, you know. That's what this kind of reminds me of. Like, and like, but it's Joe Biden. Like, this isn't John Wick, this isn't fucking, you know, Neo from the Matrix. This is Joe Biden we're talking about here, okay? All right, let's go.
Freedom, personal freedom is fundamental to who we are as Americans. There's nothing more.
Personal freedom. Now, again, I know, this is my job. I get paid to do this, theoretically. Personal freedom. The guy who campaigned in 2020 on decriminalizing marijuana, 3 years into his administration, where he has the sole authority to decriminalize marijuana, he could do it by himself, and he hasn't done it, is now going to tell us about personal freedom. What?
Important, nothing more sacred. That's been the work of my first term, to fight for our democracy.
No.
This shouldn't be a red or blue issue. protect our rights, to make sure that everyone in this country is treated equally, and that
That's not true either. He hasn't really done that either. He hasn't done any of this shit. Let's be honest, right? Like, the campaign to let's finish the job, by the way, like, as a huge fan of the Halo franchise, man, oh man, I gotta tell you, well, you know, Halo 3 and previous. Does anyone remember Halo 3? Gotta finish the fight? I don't know, man. Like, you know, you play, imagine, like, in this instance, you play Halo 1 and 2, and it's just like you're sitting in the cryo chamber at the start of Halo 1, and then that's the whole game. You play Halo 2, right? And then you're still there. Maybe you get to look around this time. And then Halo 3 comes around, let's finish the fight. How about let's start the fucking game here? Like, this guy has done nothing. He is... Okay, again, what has Joe Biden done? He convinced 80% of Americans that COVID isn't real, while it's still killing thousands of people a week. He convinced millions of Americans that masks don't work. He said he was the most pro-union president ever, and then in the most historic moment where he would prove that, he sided with the bosses. He didn't get past Build Back Better. He got past the Inflation Reduction Act, which is already being gutted as we speak. He is bulking on transgender rights. Not really doing the right thing on it. He's kind of waffling, if you will. Oh, yeah, they have rights. Not too many rights. We got to be fair to the conservatives. This came out over the last couple of weeks. So again, personal freedom. What has he done about Roe v. Wade? Nothing. What is he doing about Dianne Feinstein blocking up the courts? Nothing. This guy. Now, we already know this. He's a liar. He's a politician. No shit, he's a liar. But I mean, I know we're only 30 seconds in. And, you know, I don't know anything about these people, and it's unfortunate that I decided to pause while they're being displayed. I hope that they don't feel that this is defamation. I'm sure they're great people. But this video is awful so far, and we're only 30 seconds in.
everyone is given a fair shot at making it. But you know, around the country, MAGA extremists are lining up to take on those bedrock freedoms, cutting Social Security that you paid for your entire life while cutting taxes for the very wealthy, dictating what healthcare decisions women can make, banning books, and telling people who they can love, all while making it more difficult for you to be able to vote.
Yo, the slow motion. What is this? Like, what the fuck? The slow motion? What is this, a Kamala portion of the show?
When I ran for president 4 years ago, I said we're in a battle for the soul of America, and we still are. The question we're facing is whether in the years ahead we have more freedom or less freedom, more rights or fewer. I know what I want the answer to be, and I think you do too. This is not...
I'm sorry, man, but I don't know, like, this is the best part about politics for me, to be honest, is campaign season. You know, we all love it. We love the slop. We're all pigs. We're all rolling around in the muck here. It's a bunch of shitty fucking salesmen lying through their teeth, making up alternate versions of the world that never existed, and telling us to vote for them, while making videos that are the most fucking ridiculous things you've ever seen in your life. And that's enjoyment. I like this. This is fun for me. Let's keep going.
Not a time to be complacent.
Oh, really? It's not a time to be complacent. Oh, wow. I mean, that's a shocker, given living under Joe Biden's administration and where he has fought progress every step of the way. What is the definition of complacent? I'm just, you know, so I'm not making it up here. Complacent here. Showing smug or uncritical satisfaction with oneself or one's achievements. I mean, I personally feel like that word accurately summarizes Joe Biden as a person and this whole advertisement. So he's telling us not to be complacent, while also telling us that he's actually done stuff that he hasn't, while ignoring the fact that the shit he campaigned for last time still hasn't happened, even things that he has sole authority over, and then telling us not to be complacent. Oh, wow. Wow.
That's why I'm running for re-election.
what is this? Like, why is he pointing at me? Like,
That's why I'm running for re-election. Because I know America. I know we're good and decent people.
now I just gotta say, obviously, I know he's a politician. He's lying to people for votes. But, like, really? America is good and decent? That's not true. I'm sorry. That's not true. That's not true. America's good and decent. Like, do you know anything about the history of this country? America is good and decent. Explain Donald Trump. Explain George W. Bush. Explain Ronald Reagan. If America, at its core, is good and decent, explain the Iraq War. Explain the war on terror, quote unquote. I'm just saying, like, what? Americans are good and decent people? Yeah, that is not true. Have you ever, like, I know Joe Biden is a sheltered fucking moron who doesn't have any genuine. Joe Biden is a guy who got into politics when he was like, what, 20 something? This guy, at least for the last 80, 70 years, has not had an actual human interaction. Like, talk about out of touch. Trust fund babies and people that are career politicians, that's out of touch. Every time this guy has spoken to any other person for the last 70 years, whatever, I don't know how old he is nowadays. But I know he became a senator in his late 20s, I believe. Ever since then, he has never had a real conversation with anybody. Anybody. They're always sucking his dick, whether consensually or unconsensually, given Joe Biden's history we know about. This guy doesn't know America. He doesn't know any Americans. Everyone he's ever talked to is, sir, oh wow, sir, oh, it's great to be here, sir. Oh, hi, sir. Oh, wow, can I shake your hand, sir? Oh, wow, your smile looks great, sir. Oh, wow, can you give me the number of your plastic surgeon, sir? You look great, sir. Like, he hasn't had a real American conversation, at least since he was 20-something years old. But this guy, don't worry, everyone. He grew up in Scranton. He know America.
I know we're still a country that believes in honesty and respect.
That is not true.
And treating each other with dignity.
Also not true.
That we're a nation where we give hate no safe harbor.
That is not true at all, dude. Yo, what? We don't give hate safe harbor? We got into a partnership with the country that did 9/11 because it was convenient. And we didn't feel like at the time we could overthrow Saudi Arabia, so we partnered with them. But no, don't worry, everybody. We don't give hate safe harbor.
We believe that everyone is equal, that everyone should be given a fair shot to succeed in this country.
Thank you for choosing us.
Every generation of Americans has faced a moment when they have to defend democracy. Stand up for our personal freedom. Stand up for the right to vote and our civil rights. And this is our moment.
Montage. What is this? Ah! Like, this is like giving me like cell phone commercial during the Super Bowl vibes. That's what I'm getting out of this. You know, it's an extra long ad and they make it as cringy as possible. Like, we're just rotating through people shaking his hand with like some weird ass like upbeat music, and that's it. That's all we get. No, by the way, notice that there's no policy here. Now, I know what we're gonna defend democracy. That's not a policy. That's not a policy. What are you going to do in the year of our Lord 2025, Robinette? You're gonna finish the job. What job? Can you tell us what job you want to finish? Point in any direction that goes somewhere where it's actually substantive?
So if you're with me, go to joebiden.com and sign up. Let's finish this job. I know we can. Because this is the United States of America. There's nothing, simply nothing we cannot do if we do it together.
What is this editing? Why? What the hell? Well, there you go. I made it through. I managed to get through. Wow. Now, I'm not going to lie to y'all. Okay? I say that phrase a lot. I guess I got to work on my transitionary phraseology, but I'm not gonna lie to y'all. When Joe Biden made his 2020 announcement, I actually thought it was pretty good. Now again, I never liked Joe Biden. I never would have voted for him. But I thought at the time in 2020, he did a good job with his opening video. And well, needless to say, that is not happening again here. That is not happening here. Wow. Like, no matter which way you cut it, this is a stinker of an ad. There's no policy. It's, if you like Biden, you're going to get all, oh, wow, look, Biden's smiling and he's walking in slow motion and people said Arriba Biden. Wow, great. Oh, I'm so happy. Like, if you're already in that camp, okay, great. But also, you're not the target, at least theoretically. You shouldn't be the target demographic of political advertising. If you don't like Joe Biden, or if you're on the fence about Joe Biden, this does fucking nothing at all to move you in any way. This is just like a video for the Biden sycophants, and that's it. And that's it. I mean, hey, it is an announcement video. He is an incumbent president. We'll see how it goes. But, like, wow. I mean, talk about a stinker. My God. I haven't watched this yet either, by the way. I only watched, like, the first, 15 seconds, and I was like, oh, I gotta do this for the show. But, like, wow. I mean, we're really at a point where politics is just like, I mean, everything, right? America is the country of advertising. Everything. I just want people to really think about this. Not just politics. Everything is advertising. Everything. When in a capitalist society, everything you do and say to other human beings is an advertisement. Think of the term virtue signaling. What am I doing on my show right now? I'm virtue signaling. I'm signaling to the internet my virtues. I'm advertising myself to see if like-minded human beings can watch this, stumble upon it, and think, wow, this person has something interesting to say. I'm advertising. Every aspect of life is an advertisement. When you drink a bottle of Pepsi, why do you think they put Pepsi on the label? So that other people see what you're drinking. Everything is an advertisement, right? And politics, of course, no stranger to advertising, whether it be from taking money from advertisers to change their political beliefs or advertising themselves in these kinds of fashions, right? But I mean, we're at this point where it's like we've kind of reached, like, especially with the advent of deepfake and burgeoning artificial intelligence technology and all that kind of stuff, we're at a point where it's like, wow, you know, just, it is kind of like, this could be a deepfake. It really could be. Make a generic, like, Coca-Cola commercial, but instead of selling Coca-Cola, it's selling Joe Biden. Boom. Like, I'm serious. Like, this is, it's just embarrassing. I don't know. I don't really have a grand thesis here. It's just embarrassing to be alive at this moment. And to especially be an American. And just have to deal with the constant fucking gaslighting. The constant gaslighting from everywhere. Everywhere. You log on to the internet, gaslighting. You go to work, gaslighting, gaslighting, gaslighting. You turn on the TV, gaslighting, gaslighting, gaslighting. Everyone is lying to you and trying to sell you a version of the world that doesn't exist. Think about it in the sense of COVID. 84% of U.S. American citizens are anti-vaccine conspiracy theorists. How did that happen? Through mass gaslighting campaigns. Joe Biden going up there saying the pandemic's over. Right? Not challenging anti-vaccine conspiracy theories. Pretending that, they're so obviously fake that no one's going to fall for it. Now, 84, look it up if you don't believe me, 84% of Americans have refused a safe, effective, and free vaccine. 84%. How is that possible? They were gaslit. They were told the pandemic's over, you don't gotta worry. Omicron's mild. Talk about a conspiracy theory. Omicron's mild. One hell of a conspiracy theory. But I mean, again, that's just all politics is. There are two camps in American, I don't know about the world, I'm willing to assume that this applies to a lot of the world, but I only live in America, right? There are two camps. People that understand what's going on and people that are living in fantasy. Now, I consider myself someone who understands what's going on. Maybe you do as well. But you need to really fundamentally understand this world was not designed for us. Every single human being who has ever been in a position of power and leadership has made a decision that is against our demographic. Okay? Every president, every politician, every CEO, every manager, every boss has worked to create a world that does not exist for our detriment. So people that see just how fundamentally ridiculous everything is nowadays, especially, I mean, it's always been ridiculous, but now we just have we have cell phone videos, we have doom scrolling, we have instantly loading several gigabyte file internet connections, right? I really need you all to understand this world is not designed for us. If you try to fit in, it's not going to work. So you have two options: assimilate or just stay on the sidelines. Now, I chose, there's a couple times, when I was a teenager, when I was young and desperate for friends and family and connection, that I thought to myself, maybe I will assimilate. Maybe I will believe in the great fantasy that America's a good country and that people really are nice at heart, and, but I quickly realized it's just not true and it's not feasible. So either you have two options: assimilate or just sit back and enjoy the disaster. And I'm in the second category. I'm sitting back and I'm enjoying the disaster. Actually, I'm not sitting back yet, but hold up. Sitting back and enjoying the show, because that's all we got left. That's all we got left is a free ticket to the greatest show on earth, everybody. So don't waste it. Enjoy. I'm not gonna lie, the discourse around Marianne Williamson is extremely confusing. It really is. And I don't understand how to participate in the discourse at all. So like I said, I'll vote for Marianne because I'm an anybody but Biden voter. I have never seen a Marianne Williamson speech where she starts talking about crystals and magic and, all that kind of stuff and religion. I've never seen it. I've never seen her talk about spirituality. And I don't actively seek to engage with her content, so maybe I just missed it. But it seems to me, right, that a lot of people just assume that if you use language like love is powerful and all that kind of stuff, that makes you like kooky or spiritual. I don't understand the word kooky either. I consider myself kooky. I consider myself one of, the most spiritual atheists you'll ever meet. Maybe. But I really don't understand the discourse, right? Like, Joe Biden is going up there, like, eating parts of zombie Jesus and, like, dressing in robes and talking about the blood of Christ. And Marianne Williamson's the weird one, But again, it just goes to say, it's unpopular, I guess. I don't know. It's unpopular to say things that are obvious. But I don't know. I don't really care to keep up with it. But either way, you ask me to pick between Joe Biden and Marianne Williamson, I could know nothing about Marianne Williamson, and I would vote for her over Joe Biden. So I don't give a fuck about whatever it is that her beliefs have offended people. I'm sure they have. I'm sure she said stupid ass shit. But let's be real here. The other guy is Joe Biden, Like, I don't really think it matters that much. Yo, hippie boomers. Here's my theory with hippie boomers, Spit Dragon. And boomers in general. I don't know how many people here have done research on the 1950s and 1960s. Personally, I view the 50s to be way more interesting than the 60s, because the 60s is a rebellion against the 50s when you think about it. The cultural norms and what happened in the 1950s directly led to the backlash, the counter-revolution in the 1960s. But think about this. Anybody who is alive right now, and I'm not saying everybody, obviously, but I'm talking about on average. I'm talking about statistically speaking. I'm talking about, if it's like a 51%, 49%, what is more likely here, okay? Right now, if you are a boomer and you are alive, chances are you are not that radical. I'm just saying, think about it, okay? So many people died in the 1960s and even the 70s, right? The 70s is, the last desperate plea for mercy of the counter-revolution being any sort of mainstream prominence, right? So keep in mind, the people that are alive currently, now again, with very few exceptions, there are exceptions and there's great people, but the people that are alive currently that were around back then, they weren't that radical, because if they were, they wouldn't be here right now, and that's just a matter of fact. So one of the problems, and I personally view 2015, you could say up until now, but I don't know. I'm not sure yet. But I'm talking about the Bernie movement, right? You could say that a counterculture popularity is increasing for the first time in a long time. You could say that progressive politics, left-wing thought is at a local high in America. You could say an all-time high. I don't think so. I think it's just the internet that gives us that perception, perhaps. But a local high, a century high, you know, in the sense that we haven't had anything this left-wing since 2001. But, like, think about how cohesive it is, or rather, not cohesive it is. There's so many, and this has always been a thing. I mean, you think left-wing infighting is bad now? You think left-wing infighting is bad now? There were documented FBI and CIA campaigns where they would get people to become informants, or flip, if you will, from major organizations such as, let's say, the Black Panthers, so on and so forth, and they would get them to sow seeds of distrust within left-wing organizations. This happened especially in the Black Panthers, most notably, but all kinds of left-wing organizations. They would go to climate, you know, like they would go to Stop the Bomb rallies. They would go to, like, you know, green rallies, you know, Save the World, Save the Planet rallies. They would go to IWW rallies, and they would have people specifically there not to cause trouble innately, but to sow seeds of doubt within left-wing groups. Because there is nothing more powerful to destroy human solidarity than gossip. Gossip. Oh, did you hear this guy cheated on his wife? Ooh. Gossip. And, you know, again, I don't have a grand analysis here, but what I'm saying is, I don't know if a counterculture can get out of the area where it can be succumbed to gossip. You know, and this is why I also don't think we have a left-wing movement. I think we had the beginnings of a left-wing movement, but I don't really think that exists anymore. But anyway, do I have a bike? No, I don't. Do I want to travel somewhere? No, not really. I'm not leaving the house until COVID is over, and it probably won't be over for, I don't know, 5 years, whatever. Who knows? That's just my copium talking. When I say 5, it could be 10, could be 20, could be forever. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of research on the flu, and that it's pretty much the Spanish flu pandemic of 1918. They declared victory at the peak of how bad it was, and then just said, we're going to deal with 40,000 deaths every year and pretend it's normal. And that's the flu. But, like, as far as left-wing movements in this country, the only thing that I think looks even remotely good is unionization and class consciousness is on the rise. But, I mean, again, think about how anti-union propaganda works. And union-busting firms. They will literally hire a new employee at these chains, Starbucks, whatever the fuck. They will go out of their way to hire a new employee who's a plant, have them work there for months, become friends with the coworkers, and then just try to sow the seeds of, yeah, actually unions aren't that good. You know? All that kind of stuff. I mean, again, it's just crazy ass shit. But I don't really know if there's like a left-wing movement in this country at all. Like, you can make an argument that there was in the 60s, but I wasn't around in the 60s. I can't tell you. So I personally am preparing for a world where myself and people like me are the extreme minority, and I just have to get used to it. You know? I don't think my ideas will ever be popular. I don't think love and compassion and equality will ever be popular. Now, I don't think that they can't be popular. I really don't. But I don't think that that will ever happen. But maybe I'm a pessimist. I don't know. Maybe I have anxiety and depression from eating too many fucking French fries. You know what I mean? But anyway, that's pretty much my show. I'm just kind of rambling at this point. So, yeah, all right. Today's Tuesday. All right, I'm in. Everybody. Now, it is possible that this is not happening. It is possible. It is possible that I have been canceled or whatever, who knows. But this Thursday, I theoretically should be appearing on another live stream called the Left Wing Mafia, something like that. And I was invited to appear on April 27. You know, it wouldn't be the first time I've been invited on a show, and then they said, never mind, lol. But theoretically, I should be there on Thursday. So we'll see how it goes. If anyone has any suggestions for things for me to talk about, because I love talking about a lot of things, feel free to let me know. I will say I will not be here tomorrow. I take off on Wednesday. So, I will not be here tomorrow. But I will be here Thursday morning. So, but yeah, there you go. If you've been following me on Twitch, you'll notice that I am knee deep, if you will, pardon the pun, the -6 people even understood. I'm knee deep in the production, the development, if you will, of a blockbuster Doom modification. If you've been following me on Twitch, you'll have seen updates on that. And things are going well. I may do another stream today. I'm not sure. So follow me on Twitch if that's something you're interested in. You can give me money, right? I should have led that with that. You can give me money. It is possible. If you give me money, I will say I have a massive preference for Cash App. If you do want to contribute to me, Cash App is my preference. Patreon, also good. But just know I will never... I mean, it's possible once in a while I'll pretend like I'll ever do this sometimes. But, like, I will never do, like, Patreon-only videos. Like, it's just not going to be it. Like, I tried it a couple times, and it's like no one watches them, and then it's like I feel like I wasted my time. I'm not going to do that. So if you ever do give me money or anything, you will get nothing in return for it. I just don't have that in me. I'm sorry. So there you go. I don't know. Subscribe to my Doom channel on YouTube. I want to get monetized. If you'd like, hit me up. I like the Doom app you designed on mega doses. Well, I don't know if I designed it on mega doses of shrooms. You know, when I'm on a mega dose, it's kind of hard to use a keyboard. But, yeah, there you go. Oh, wow, we got Soul Life contributing to the memberships. Holy fuck. Wow. Jesus goddamn Christ, we got memberships. Holy fuck. Can you believe this shit? We got motherfucking memberships. Can you believe that I was going to make merchandise? Remember when I was going to do that? Remember when I think it was Mila bought me this cup? The majority, I think it was Mila, bought me this Majority Report cup. And then everyone in the chat was like, you should make your own coffee cup. Do it. And then I never did. Because why would anyone buy that? Like, no one, and even if you would buy it, you shouldn't. But maybe that was like, what, a year ago now that I said any minute now I'll do it. But I don't know. But anyway, thank you all. I am going to get the fuck out of here.